Oof, it's bright out here. There we go. Check, check, test, 1, 2. JonnyPink, it is bright out here. I had to switch my ND filters because I was being a little bit too blown out on that one. This is Kenneth Hahn Park, and today I am shooting Canon's 800 F11. There we go, 800 F11 on the R5 II. And I know in the past, me, other people, and this used to be true, glass, glass, glass. Talk about the glass. Well, I don't know that that's so much true anymore. And I started thinking about this on the drive here. Actually, I've been thinking about it for a couple of days. We spend all this money on these new camera bodies. Why? Because the technology inside has increased so much. Yeah, you can get some amazing photos with the older DSLRs. They have single point. I loved Nikon single point. I really did. That was my favorite focus mode. And then I tried the R5, and the eye auto tracking on that just blew my mind. I fell in love with that, and I waited a long time for Nikon to catch up, but I stuck with the R5. And as Canon, each of the Canons has come out, even the R50 that I'm shooting on right now, the tracking just increases, the technology increases, and that's what you're paying for too. This is an inexpensive entry-level lens that's a lot of fun to shoot. The stabilization in this is quite amazing, and I think it's an overlooked lens, but it has its limitations. In a place like this, I've got hummingbird feeders. In a place like this, I have the hummingbird feeders right next to me. Well, I can't do anything about it because this lens needs a lot of distance. So when you're going out and you're thinking about a lens to buy, the price is one thing, but the capabilities and the way you shoot. For me, I like shooting little critters up close, but I like doing it with a long lens. So people say, oh, you're out birding. No, I'm out catching the little tiny critters that I like, and that minimum focus distance allows me to fill my frame, and that is my favorite new method of doing macro. And I'm watching the eye tracking in my screen there, and it's always locked onto either this eye or this eye if it's up close, or if not, it just catches the whole face. The technology is what we're paying for in these camera bodies, so I think pairing the technology that you have in your camera with the right lens makes a difference. This is fun, it's inexpensive, gets you to 800 millimeters, but I have to step way back. So in shots like this, there's a lot of detail in there, and it does take great photos, but I have to step way back. Whereas with my 100 to 500, I can get right up on top of it. So this is not the best lens for here. I'm going to take a couple more shots with it, and then I'm going to switch over to my 100 to 500. I have the 1.4 extender on there, still amazing and clear, and I'll probably shoot at f10, f11. And I get up close. I fill my frame, so I have so much more detail. After this, I'm going to go shoot some hummingbirds. I'm shooting hummingbirds. After this, I'm going to go shoot some dragonflies down lower. And I can't use this because I'll be standing in the middle of it. I'm going to need that lens, which is one thing I wish that I had last time. But that'll be another video. So for now, can't get to the water. I'm too close. Can't get to the feeders that are right next to me because, again, I'm too close for this lens. A lot of activity right now. It's died down just a wee bit now that the sun's really coming up high. So I'm going to show you a couple of shots while I switch lenses. So check these out. Let me know what you think. And again, with all these shots, I don't see them till I get home and I start processing. So if you see something, please leave me a comment down below. If you think they're cool, awesome, give it a thumbs up. If you think that they're terrible, let me know that too. I'm out here shooting just for the joy and the happiness of being outside and sharing with you guys. Well, that's the bonus on it. So check these out. Alright, so now I just pulled this out while you guys were looking at those photos. This is one of my favorite lenses for so many reasons. It is so light, so easy to use, and it's versatile. I can get right up on top of the little critters here, so if there's a squirrel or a rat or something that climbs into my bag while it's sitting there open on the ground, I can get photos of it. And 700 millimeters, I can stand right up on something and get some photos. So let's see if this thing will track me while I'm shooting here. Little towhee. That was a nice little sequence. It was sitting over here on the bottle brush, just sitting there. Well, it was floating there. This locks on, this lens paired with this body locks on so much faster. It's just so much more, it's more accurate. It's quicker. So keep that in mind when you're looking for a lens body combination. What are you looking for? What are you shooting? You're not going to go shoot street photography with a 600 millimeter lens. You want a short lens. You're going to do portraits. You're probably going to want a 50 or an 85. If you're doing events, you're going to want something with a little more zoom and range, and you're probably going to want a couple of cameras so you have that range. For me, wildlife, I like a lot of reach, but I like a short minimum focus distance, which is why I think this, for me, is the perfect lens. It's the perfect combination, perfect setup. come in a little bit closer. There you go. JonnyPink, I'm interrupting this video because right now I'm shooting with the R5 II, and this is Canon's 200 to 800. The reason I'm interrupting it is I want to talk about my favorite ones. My favorite photos for hummingbirds are always when their eyes are closed. So this little sequence here is, well, it's my favorites with their little leathery eyelids closed. Check these out. I'm surprised this hasn't overheated because it's sitting in the sun. I had my cell phone, there we go. I had my cell phone overheat yesterday sitting in the sun on the seat. It was so hot. And I was in an air-conditioned car. Oh well. All right, back to the other guy now. Let's go back to the other part of the video, shall we? Let's go. And of course, now this bottle brush that I'm standing in front of is only about 2 meters in front of me. It's nothing. I couldn't do that with the other lens. I just would have to step way back into these other bushes. It wasn't going to work. And as long as my shutter speed is fast enough, I should be freezing the motion. Right now, I'm only at 1,000. I brought it down. I probably should have had that one at, say, 4,000. And again, everybody shoots differently. I shoot everything in manual, but it was a DSLR. These days, I shoot with my ISO in auto. I just let it go. It cleans up so nice. And these modern cameras are really good at handling the high ISO. I love the way it just locks onto the eyeball. Of course, then I have my tracking. There we go. Oh God, I love that. Hope I can remember which shot that is. It's sitting in the branch, so half the body is covered. Oh, hello. Probably too close for that. Let's zoom out. I just recently did a video with dragonflies in flight using this. I'll link it over here. This almost makes it too easy. One thing about Canon is their eye auto tracking. It works on everything. I usually have mine set to animals. I think on the R5, on the R3 I had it set to just automatic maybe. I don't remember. Set it and forget it. But I shoot in auto ISO, and usually the lowest aperture that lens has. With the F4, a lot of times I've been shooting in 5.6 to give it a little bit deeper depth of field, and on this one right now I'm at an F10. I might be at F11. I like F11. Well, I think you get the idea of how well the tracking works. This is not the way I shoot. The funny thing is, this started out as a video. I wanted to shoot that 800 F11 here, and I knew that I was going to be standing too far back. I knew that. It's a fantastic long distance lens. when your subjects are far away. But for this place here, that short minimum focus distance works so much better. And if you're new to photography, well, think about those things. Think about your background. These modern cameras are fantastic, but you do have to pair it for the right lens for what you are planning on shooting. If you can't afford this one, you know, save up for it. But another option that is fantastic for newer shooters is the 100 or 400. And the only reason I mention so much Canon stuff is what I use, because it has the functionality that works for me. It is, I love it. What can I say? It works for me. JonnyPink, thank you so much for letting me share with you guys. I do appreciate it. Give it a thumbs up. Again, this is Canon's R5 Mark II. Here, wait a minute. Thumbnail. Got to get a thumbnail in there too, right? Beautiful area, but it's already getting hot. So I think I'm going to pack my bag back up, head down the hill without this, and go shoot some dragonflies now that it's warm, and they should be out in force. Thank you again. Thank you for letting me share with you guys. Give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Remember, no system is perfect. It doesn't matter what you're shooting. Nothing is perfect. And the best part of a camera, it's just a tool. Just like a hammer or a screwdriver, you're not going to use a Phillips head screwdriver where a flathead's going to work, or an Allen wrench where you need a set of pliers. Just, you're not. Nothing is perfect. You're the magic behind the camera. JonnyPink, thanks a lot. We'll see you guys. So now, I just pulled this out while you guys were looking at those photos. This is one of my favorite lenses for so many reasons. It is so light, so easy to use, and it's versatile. I can get right up on top of the little critters here, so if there's a squirrel or a rat or something that climbs into my bag while it's sitting there open on the ground, I can get photos of it.